Hello everyone, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me back with more Transformers. This time, some third-party goodness. This is PS-23 Ignis from MMC. This is part of the all built-in combiner collection. This is essentially Hotspot from the Protectobots. He is a leader, essentially the chest and torso of this whole Defensor combiner. So I already have the other two. I have First Aid and Streetwise, so definitely looking forward to this one. I got this for approximately a little over $200 I paid from here in the US from Big Bad Toy Store. So pretty cool figure, definitely looking forward to it. Some nice packaging. If you have other third-party figures from MMC, pretty similar. Nice artwork here of I'm gonna call him Hotspot. I know he's Ignis. Hotspot in bot mode here and vehicle. Same thing here on the top. Now we've got the actual toy in vehicle mode and bot mode. Same thing here on the side. You've got some artwork here of the robot mode. You've got the head here, and here on the back, of course, we see Hotspot in his some action poses in his vehicle mode, and then we have him here as the combiner. Again, this is part of this whole Transformers all built in. So essentially this gives you the whole upper torso, the head, and the lower legs of Defensor there. And of course, I love this old school style packaging here that gives you some of the specs, or, you know, little details on the leader Ignis there, or Hotspot. So I'm going to open this up and give you guys a look, but looks pretty cool out here from the packaging. So continuing on here with MMC Ignis, or I'm just going to call him Hotspot. That's what I know him as. I did take him out of the box. Mine came, as you guys saw, in his vehicle mode. So a couple of accessories here. First things first is two guns. So you get these two nice big chunky plastic guns. You know, nothing much else to say. They're nice and pretty huge for this guy. I'm assuming he's going to be able to use these as Hotspot and also in his Defensor mode. The handles down here do fold in, so you can fold them in like so and stow them away as needed. So that's really cool. Some nice detailing there. Pretty nice big chunky plastic guns. We also do get these. I believe these are used in the base mode, because apparently he does have a base mode, and you can also store them in vehicle mode. So I'll have to look around and play around with that. But again, there's some articulation here, so you can fold them in, and they're made of the same plastic that the guns are. So again, same kind of style. Pretty plain, but you know, the details that are there, you know, are okay for this type of piece. I probably honestly won't use this very much. You've got some tabs here that you know, can be used, I'm assuming, when you try to store these. So that's that. You also, of course, get your instructions. I've never really been a big fan of MMC's instructions for any of their other third-party, either Combaticons or Protectobots that I've had. You know, they're color-coded, which I guess it's nice, but go on YouTube and there's some really nice videos out there showing the whole transformation process for this guy. But you do get your instructions, and you know, you can use those as needed. You also do get your old school I guess spec card, PS-23 Ignis or Hotspot. As I said, there got some nice articulation there in the guy, the actual toy, his sort of different specs and rankings or whatever have you, and a little blurb on Ignis or Hotspot, you know, looking really cool there. So that's that. You also get your nice little red piece of red cellophane, or however you call this. This is, I guess, meant to work with the outer carton, with the box. If you wanted to, you can take this, and you know, this is old school. I guess the older figures had, I believe, something like this, where you could take this and, you know, look at the hidden specs, I guess, in this guy. So again, that's a thing. You know, I usually just put these things nice and neat. All these things came on these nice little I guess Ziploc baggies. So again, really cool. And he came very well wrapped up in a bunch of plastic. So again, no issues with the packaging. I also did get this incentive head as part of the accessory. So a couple of things. So in one baggie, I got this. I got a little piece of paper with the extra, with the head, and it says that the combiner's roaring face is, I guess, the incentive face that you get with this guy. I guess I know I pre-ordered mine a while back, so this is what I got in the baggie. And of course, this is the Defensor head, and you can open this up and switch this head out for, I guess, this screaming face. Interestingly enough, I notice here in these little instructions they call this the combiner's hand helmet. I'm assuming that was supposed to say head, but hey, no big deal. And it kind of goes over how to remove the faceplate and replace it, etc. But I also noticed in my packaging, I just got one of these as well, which kind of looks the same as the incentive roaring head. I don't know if maybe this is supposed to go with a different style face or something, but they look pretty similar, I want to say, in style. I guess the one on the right looks a bit more angrier than this one here. And I noticed too, by the nose with the upper section there, looks a tad different, but I did end up with these two extra faceplates. Let's go ahead and have a quick look here at the vehicle mode. This is how mine came in the box. So we'll start off here. Again, it's a pretty nice vehicle mode. You've got rubber wheels, which is really cool. The ladder here has got this whole extendable thing, so if you wanted to, you can push this back. That's part of the transformation, but then you can also fully have it out. So this is probably how I would display it in vehicle mode. This thing here, you can race at an angle, you can move fully around. So again, that is really cool. You get that extra thing. And then just to bring you in a little closer here, you can see some of the details. As I said, the wheels are full rubber. The rims unfortunately are not die cast, they're plastic, but I love the little detail here of the vehicle mode. You know, you've got your little hoses, your switches, your lights. Again, the sculpting is really well done. Love the color, definitely all G1. You've got your little flame detail here by the door with the black windows. Looking on back here, you've got these little details for the little legs, as I like to call them, for the vehicle mode. You can pull these down. They have them on both sides. So if you want to set this guy on those, you can do that. And then you can push them back in. So again, that's really cool. Here's the back. You've got your little lights. It looks like this is part of the legs or what have you. Same thing over on this side. The same nice detailing that's over on the other side is on this side as well. So again, you also get the two little legs. So overall, pretty happy with this vehicle mode. It's nice and big, nice and chunky. You can definitely feel some die cast here. You can feel the weight. As I was messing around with this, I realized that there's a piece here that is definitely die cast in nature. So I want to say, I believe this piece here in the middle that I'm pointing at is die cast. So it's nice. It's got definitely feels worth it in its price. Here's what it looks like underneath. If you're interested in that, here's I guess a bit of a top view. So again, pretty cool vehicle mode. I guess if I had to point out maybe some minor issues, and I don't know if it's an issue, but these here feel a bit flimsy, the mirrors. So again, probably something to be cautious for if you're going to be playing around with it or transforming it, etc. These feel, they are soft rubber, and at least the right one on mine feels like it's a bit warped. I may have to play with it, but nothing too bad, but just something to keep in mind. Love the sirens here, the clear red plastic. So again, really nice vehicle mode here from MMC for Hotspot. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and get Hotspot here into his robot mode. Starting off here with the ladder. So we're gonna lift this up and push this all the way in like that. Then we're gonna take this, lift it up out of the way, and we're gonna slide this forward. And let's fix the camera here. This will then allow you to pull this out like so. Then you're going to take this section here, fold this in, and slide it right underneath so that it falls all the way back like so. This then will then allow you to push the ladder all the way back in. Once you get this in like this, you're going to take this section here, you're going to fold it down like so. You're going to take this and just turn it all the way in. And then you're going to take this and fold that down like so, so that it looks something like that. And then you're going to take this, just have it hanging down like that for now. Next thing here is these side panels here kind of just pop off. They're being held on by clips here on the side, so you're going to take that out on this one side, take this in, fold it in half, pull it out, flip it so that it sits like that. You're going to see this little hook here. You're going to put this at an angle. This will allow this to be turned this way so that when you go like so, it gives it some clearance, and then just put it off to the side. This clip then goes back like so. So we'll do the same thing here. You're going to take this, unsnap it, fold it in half. Same thing here. Rotate this, take this little hook here, put it at an angle, and then rotate this. That'll push the hook in place like so. And then you are done at that point. Next thing here is these legs. So these are a bit tricky. This gave me a bit of trouble when I was trying to get a good handle on this transformation, so bear with me while I do this. First thing to do is to separate these. You can see that here, and you're going to slowly they rotate here at the hip. They actually rotate outward. So you take this this way and take this that way, and then you can rotate these out like this. I appreciate that the ratchets are really tight, because I know this is essentially Defensor's body, so that's really cool. So you could take that and you're left with something that looks like this, and then you have to play around with the orientation of the legs at that point. So you could do that, take this and then rotate it down like so. Then you'll see here, we're going to bend this at the knee. It's a lot of folding. You'll see this little section here. You got to push this in to unlock it. You'll hear it click, so you push it all the way down from the bottom, and then this loosens up this section here, essentially the knee, and you can rotate it forward. And then once you're done, lock it back, so that way that locks it in place. So same thing here. We're gonna take this, move this forward and then down. Again, loving those ratchets. Take that, and again you'll see here the little lock. You're going to push that down to unlock it, and then bend it in, and then once you get it all straight, boom, you now have it sort of locked in place, right? At this point, the next thing we'll do is here the feet. So you're going to take this sections here, unfold this, fold this in half. You're going to do the same thing on this side, fold this out, fold it in half, leave them out. These are also a bit tricky to get, but once you do, it kind of all falls in place. So you're going to unfold this here at this hinge, and then you're going to take that, leave it like that for now, and then you're going to take this, fold it in. You'll see these sections here. So this was resting, this little plastic piece was resting like that, but now we want it facing forward towards the foot like so. And then once you do that, you can fold this down, and then you take that and you end up with something that looks like that. So we'll do that here as well. You're gonna fold this down at the hinge. You're gonna unclip this here, just set it straight, fold just the blue piece in like so, and it'll grab this piece here, so we need it like that. And then you're just going to push this down, and then you're left with something that looks like that, and then you pretty much have the feet at that point. Next then we'll concentrate here is on the upper section, and probably best to move this out of the way. We'll stand this guy up, give you guys a better look here on what are we doing here next with these arms. So first things first is you're going to take the front here, you're going to separate them here right in the middle. Now when you do this, you're going to see this section start to come off. That's not what you want to separate. You want to just make sure it's strictly from the middle here like so, and then you're going to grab these sides and just have them rest like that, and then that kind of leaves you in place like so. and go ahead and fix the camera here, give you guys a bit of a better look. All right, here we go. Next thing would be this arms here. So first thing to do is take now these sections here. It's like a cover. You'll see that here. One thing to do is you'll see this little part of the bumper, just fold it out and to the left, and then just do that. Next thing to do is pretty much these arms, you're gonna have to here untab that, and then this section here stays in, but you'll see the line here, right? So you're gonna take this and just pull it out slightly and then out like so. Then here you're gonna fold this in and then fold that like so, leave it alone at that point. And then we're gonna do the arms here. So next thing is these arms here. You're gonna take this, fold it in, rotate this like so. You'll see this panel here. Take that and fold it, rotate it this way so that it ends up facing this way. You're gonna fold this in and you'll be left with something like this. At that point, you can then take this section here and you'll push it forward like so, and then you just want these facing this way like that. And then you can take these section here and just slot it in place, and then this all kind of neatly rolls out, and then you can bend this down. The hands are here, so you're gonna go ahead and take this from here, fold it out, and then that allows you to take out the arm, rotate it whichever way you need it. For now, let's just keep it like so, but you're gonna end up with something like this, and you'll know you did it right because the joints are here for the elbows. So that's one side. The other side here, pretty similar. We're gonna take this, undo that. Again, this section here, move this slightly out and out. I'm gonna untab this and pull this out. Maybe this will give you a bit of a better look here. So again, grab from here, and you can at that point undo this. Then here again, you're going to take this and just fold that in, take this, do that, I'm going to take that, this section here, rotate it, and then it'll tab in place like that. So you'll end up something like this, and then that. Then next step is to do that, slide that forward, and then at this point you can start to move the arm down. But you know, again, you'll know you'll have it right when you're facing it this way, because that's where the joints are at. While we're here, let's go ahead and grab the whole arm section, the hand section here, pull that out, rotate that in, and tab this back in. Now you can just place the hands in place. Then at this point, again, you can take that, tab that in, and boom, you are done with the arms at that point. So pretty good look so far. That's what we're left with. Let me give you a bit of a height here on the camera. So next thing would be here. We're gonna fold this down and slightly out. So you're gonna swing this out forward. There's two sections here on this panel. It's probably easier to see that you got to push out to the sides. If you can get a fingernail in there, that'll help out. So just push those up this way, and you'll see that kind of widens the chest. Then down here, there's panels you got to push in. So right here and right here, you can push those out, and again, that brings up the chest even forward. Once you have that there, just leave it alone for now. We'll move on here to the back. We'll move these arms out to give us some room. Next thing is essentially the head. So we're going to rotate this way. You'll see the defensor head there. And we're going to take this back, just the back panel, rotate it forward. Then you're going to turn the head so that it faces the back. You see the big diffusor head, but then you open up the head, which is like a panel, and that here you'll see the hotspot head. So just take this, rotate it down like so. Now you can put the head back, and then just remember to rotate this all the way back so that it's facing this way. Take this back panel again that you swung forward, make sure you cover the head, and then we take this and just rotate it like so. No issues there. We'll go ahead and do, let's go ahead and finish out the back here. So you'll see here, there's tabs. There's one here, one here. These are supposed to go attached right here. So when you're swinging this in place, just keep that in mind. So what I like to do is, before I tab this in, because this backpack's gonna go tabbed in here, I generally like to just, before I tab it in, line up these panels here, so that I sort of get that tabbed in place before I tab anything else in, like so. So you'll see they'll be sitting there, and then at that point I can just tab everything in, make sure everything's nice and neat and tight, which is pretty cool. Almost done at this point. You could swing the arms back to give you back some room here in the front, and at that point you could take this, and this is one of the aspects of this transformation I'm not crazy about, is you have to pull the antennas out. I don't know about you, but I have these big sausage fingers, and you can't just pull from the top, you got to pull from the bottom. So I would turn the head sideways, slightly tilt it back, and pull from the top and the bottom. And I don't like that they don't lock in place. They're kind of just sitting there, so you can easily push them back in. So just be very cognizant of that. You'll see I just did it again. Just take that. Be careful not to hit the antennas, otherwise you'll push them back in. Same thing on this side, grab from the bottom and the top and pull that out, and you're left with something that looks like so. And then the last thing to do is then just, you can push this panel in. Remember to push it in from the center. If you're pushing from here, you're going to push these panels back in. So just push from the center and it'll tab in, and then at that point you're done. This is Hotspot. And let me fix the camera and give you guys a better look here. All right, so here we are done with Hotspot in his robot mode and looking pretty awesome. Again, love how big and the heft on this guy. The colors, I think, for me are also right on point. I think thinking back to the MMC Onslaught that I also do have, that the proportions are done way better, I think, on this guy. Onslaught wasn't too bad, but his torso looked a little longer. I think in this case for Hotspot, MMC has done a great job of getting the proportions right for Hotspot, who is the torso, right? Even though you have like these huge I call them biceps or shoulders, they are very reminiscent to what was in a cartoon, in a G1 cartoon anyway. So it kind of lines up for me really well. Again, the color, everything's on point. Transformation is a bit involved. So you guys saw a lot of panel fiddling and moving little things here and there so things fit just right. But, you know, you kind of end up with this awesome look for Hotspot here. I've had some kind of nitpicks. Some of the panels kind of don't lock in place, especially around the antennas. When you grab his head, you're going to need to be careful not to push him back in. Otherwise, you got to pull them out. And it seems like a little, you know, if you do that often enough, you may risk some breakage. The panels also down here on the legs, when you start messing around with the legs, these can easily be pushed in, which there was a way to sort of lock them in place a little better. Of course, you can just come back in here, pull them back out, and you're good to go. So not really much of a complaint there. Again, the proportions, I think they really nailed it this time. I think MMC has done an awesome job here with Hotspot, and I'm really happy to have him in the collection. I think even though he's got the heft, he's got the size, you will be able to get this guy into some nice poses. You've got your arms here, which you can move up and down. You can also rotate them fully around if you wanted to. Just got to get stuff out of the way there. But there you go, fully around. You've got pretty much, I want to say, double jointed elbows there. So he'll be able to do that in place. So again, really cool. The hands here, you can fully rotate, and as you can see, you've got fully articulated fingers, so separately. So if you wanted to do the whole pointing bit, he can of course sort of do that. These panels kind of do get in the way a bit, but I think for his size and his heft, the articulation they give you here is pretty cool, and again, done really well. We look at the head here, again, love it. I'm going to bring you in a little closer because I think the head's done really well. Very Optimus Prime like, which I seem to recall that's pretty much what he looked like, or what he reminded me of, is Optimus Prime. The head here, you can rotate this fully all the way around. Can look up probably about that much and look down that much, which I think is pretty good. I mean, he's looking at his chest at that point. The waist here, you can fully turn this all the way around, and he's a big chunky bot, but I appreciate that you can do that. And you also have some form of a ab crunch, which is ratcheted, so he can look down. Again, that's really cool. And of course, you got the awesome ratchets, pretty strong here on the waist. You got these flaps. These also move back if you need to get them out of the way. This is more for the combine mode, but you can move these flaps up, and essentially you've got this really strong ratchets here that you can use to hold his leg up. You've got 90 pretty much just about there. And as far as the ankles here, you also do have you know, your ankle articulation. These panels here actually do manage to hold up the figure considering how hefty he is. So but they can be a little fiddly sometimes to mess with. Back here on the legs, right here at the top, you can rotate them fully around. And again, it's awesome that we've got these strong ratchets, because you'll need this. This is a toy that feels really great in hand here. And thankfully, at least on mine, everything fits in without much issue, other than the little panels around the legs that are a little fiddly to mess with, and the antennas on the arms there. But otherwise, really happy with this guy. I won't go over the combine mode, I mean, because technically he's the skeleton of Defensor, but I won't do that until I get who is it, Groove and Blades. I do have those two pre-ordered from on my end, so I'm just waiting. I'm gonna wait for those to release, and then probably do a whole video just on the combiner Defensor aspect of it. So, but overall, I mean, I'm really happy with the way this guy came out. I mean, kudos to MMC. I mean, their Combaticons were great. I think they've learned quite a bit from that, and we've gotten to this point, which it's pretty awesome to, you know, get Hotspot here. And here we go, just showing you the postability, and also went ahead and added his guns. He holds them in place without much issue. And again, for such a big bot, I love the fact that he can hold poses pretty well. So again, MMC doing a great job here with Hotspot, looking pretty badass holding those weapons. And just one more pose here, showing off the strung ratchets on the legs with Hotspot here in this crouch down pose. I did have to move the panels on the waist slightly out, but it's cool that you can do that. I mean, it's part of the combiner transformation, but you do have that option if you want to, you know, utilize the different joint on this guy here. But again, pretty cool that a bot this big can hold his pretty awesome poses there. So let's go ahead and get started here with the comparisons. We got Hotspot here. We're moving slightly off to the right. I may need to move the camera because this guy is pretty big. But right off the bat, let's go ahead and compare him to an official Masterpiece, one of the bigger, chunkier bots that I have in my collection. This is the Masterpiece Ultra Magnus. This one's been out for a while, but it's always been one of my favorites because, like Hotspot here, he's pretty huge. And I want to say they're pretty similar in size there. So again, they both look really cool together next to each other. So again, that is Ultra Magnus. We'll move him out of the way here and bring in something that's not Masterpiece, but I had it out, so why not? This is the Legacy. This is the Combiner Menasor from, I think it was Legacy if I remember correctly. Again, whole different line and size of figures, but in case anyone was interested, if you have a completed Menasor, this is how Hotspot from MMC kind of compares to Menasor here. So again, we'll move him out. And let's bring in another big bot here, this time moving back to Masterpiece. And this is the official Takara Masterpiece, Jetfire or Skyfire, depending on how you know him, but you guys could see them there together. Skyfire is a pretty huge bot, so he definitely tips the scales there size-wise in comparison to Hotspot. So we'll move him out. Let's go ahead and bring in some Masterpiece Decepticons, starting with Shockwave. Again, no comparison there. Shockwave gets dwarf in comparison here to Hotspot. So again, that's that. He looks pretty cool. Let's bring in his leader. This is Masterpiece, and these are all official, by the way. Masterpiece Megatron. Let's just say, I always forget all the numbers. I think by this point I have so many. I don't know if this was MP36 or one of those numbers, what have you. But there you go. Of course, Hotspot way bigger. So that's that. And then why not? Let's bring in my boy Starscream. Again, this is one of the newer versions of Starscream, more cartoon accurate, what have you. But yeah, that looks actually really cool. I love the color schemes there. Pretty similar with the blue. So yeah, that's how he compares to some of the Decepticons, at least Masterpiece ones that I have in my collection. Let's keep going here with some Autobots. So we'll move Starscream out. We'll bring in Ironhide. That's what he looks like next to Ironhide. We'll move Ironhide out of the way. Bring in Grapple. Love me this Grapple. There you go. Masterpiece Grapple. We'll move Grapple out. Bring in Ratchet. So here's what he looks like next to Ratchet. Looking pretty cool there. So Ratchet goes out. And Hoist. This is one of my more recent Hoist Masterpiece figures that I got in 2024. So I'll move Hoist out of here. And of course, you know, if I'm all in with MMC here. So here he is next to Streetwise, right? So again, he dwarfs him by comparison, and here he is next to First Aid. Looking pretty cool. And of course, we've got to do a comparison next to, this is MP44 and Hotshot here. Looking pretty cool. Love that look. I think they definitely both look pretty cool there together. Alright guys, so I think that's going to do it for me. As I said earlier, I am going to do a separate video on the combiner once I get, a groove and blades, right? I have Streetwise here and First Aid now with Hotshot, and this Hotshot's pretty cool. I mean, he looks awesome. Again, MMC doing an awesome job. So I'm all in. As I said, I also do have their combiner, was it Bruticus? So I have all those Combaticons, and I'll do a comparison once we get all Defensor all built in. But man, as far as this guy here, I think he's definitely worth it. I honestly went the third-party route in this case because I don't see sort of Takara or Hasbro doing official Masterpiece style size combiners anytime soon. I know they're doing them in the deluxe or whatever scale it is nowadays, and I do like those, but I think Masterpiece, I think for me specifically, I know there are other third-party companies that do just as well of a great job, but MMC has done an awesome job here with Hotshot here and all the other Protectobots. So definitely looking forward to Groove and Blades to come out. But then as far as this guy, I definitely love. I think it's a great addition to my collection here. He looks pretty cool with streetwise and first aid here. But anyway, let me know your thoughts. Are you going to get this one? Maybe you already have it, maybe you already love it, maybe you don't. Maybe you only stick to official bots. But otherwise, if you made it to the end of the video, thank you so much. If you have any questions, always happy to help. But if not, thank you so much for your very valuable time, and I will catch you in the next video. Take care.